My name is Sadler and I'm the Chief Executive of GP Healthcare Alliance, which is a provider company in Essex. I'm a practice manager in Essex, and part of what we found was that we couldn't compete with large private organisations anymore. So we decided that we needed to join together to actually be able to provide and bid for contracts within our area. Yes, one of the key things that we found for our GPs in our area is the agenda around working on weekends and providing extended access for our patients. As individual practices, it was just not a possibility. So therefore, one of the things that the provider company decided to do and bid for was a 7-year contract to deliver Saturday and Sunday service from 8 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that includes a nurse. This gives a patient a time for going for their travel vaccinations, having a smear, not having to take the time off work just to go and see a doctor or a nurse on things that they could do at the weekend. Well, one of the things and the benefits of being a provider company is that there is no risk to the individual practice. So when we bid for this contract in particular, this prevented any company, if it goes wrong, there's no risk to the practice, it's only benefit, and that's the whole point of becoming a provider company. The other thing about being a provider company is that we can employ staff, and we will be taking on doctors and nurses to deliver this service, and you have to be a company to do that because they will want the NHS pension. And so it's very key that you make sure that you know what you want to deliver and provide the company that requires all the things such as CQC and IGSOC, and you can't do that unless you're a limited company. We initially had a meeting back in October of a couple of years ago. At that meeting, the general feeling was, yes, let's do it, but nobody wanted to take the responsibility of doing it. For some mad reason, I decided that I was going to do that. So therefore, from October through to the following June, it took us to set the company up, define who we were as an organisation, get practice buy-in, because at the end of the day it's a practice company, and we finally formed in the following June when we had our EGM. The main challenge is resource. It's having the time to do it. It's very time consuming to think about all the things that's required. You need certain legislation such as CQC and IGSOC to be able to deliver any contracts. You need to have your legals in place. You need to have your buy-in from the practices. So there's lots of things that need to be done. The main challenge was making sure practices understood what was happening. And it wasn't about the fact that there was going to be risk to them. Practices felt that joining an organisation could mean they lost their identity, and we didn't want that to happen either. It was about ensuring that practices still had control over their own destiny, but had somebody out there looking after them. And it was about getting all those things in place, ready for when we launched as a company. Again, it comes down to resource. We have lots of bids, we've got projects on the go, it's time. As I've already said, I'm a practice manager as well, so I still have my job. So it's about trying to juggle all these things to be a successful company. That would be the main challenge, but also the most exciting part of the job is actually getting everything up and running and making it work. For me, it was an exciting opportunity. I've loved every single moment of it. But yes, I've needed support as well. To suddenly become from a practice manager to a CEO of a company that's winning bids of hundreds of thousands of pounds, you need to know how to run a commercial company effectively. You have obligations, legal ones at least, of what you can and can't do as a member of the board. We was very lucky that we looked at getting that support from Open Junction, and they supported us, every board member, with a mentor, and how we could then learn and get advice when we was in a bit of difficulty. The running of the board is imperative that you get the right people. There's no point just putting someone on the board because they want to. They have to bring some kind of skill or enthusiasm and a desire to learn that role. You also need to make sure that your articles allow you to bring people in, such as a CIRO or an accountant, when you're missing those skill sets. You have to fill every part of that board to make it run effectively, otherwise your infrastructure will not work.